All right, everybody, we are here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in the first part of May for the Acura Sports Car Challenge at Mid-Ohio for the IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship. This is the track walk. We're going to skip a few parts of the track that are straight relatively. We're going to focus on a few things here that are kind of critical in my opinion. First of all, branding. Acura has a large presence here this weekend. This is, after all, like I said, the Acura Sports Car Challenge at Mid-Ohio. Kind of interesting because the last track walk that I did was at the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. Although Acura sponsored the weekend overall, they were not the sponsor of the IMSA race that weekend. That was the Bubba Burger Sports Car Grand Prix at Long Beach. So we got the various pits over here. There's Meyer-Shank. We have Core Autosport. Sorry, I got a bit of a situation going on there. Some Ford Performance Racing fueling rigs, Acura Team Penske, and some other ones down the line. Aim Sullivan has a big presence down there. Yeah, so there's the pits over there on the left. We do have looks like another Acura Team Penske, looks like the number 7 car. I think that's Castro Neves and Ricky Taylor. They're actually the defending winners of this race. So that's where they are. They're pitted separately from the other Team Penske pit. I guess it's good so that they don't run into each other on the pit lane. So here we're walking uphill slightly. I'm going to turn around here so you can see the front stretch here. It's decently downhill from over there. So we're walking here, going down the front stretch. Got some music in the background. Anyway, so still walking here. And up here is the first turn. Now, from where I started, that was the finish line that was in front of us. That is not where the race will be starting. Traditionally, all races at Mid-Ohio, at least all the top tier races, they all start on the backstretch between turns 2 and 3. All right, so that's because it's a much longer straightaway. There's a much larger run down to the first corner of the race. And yeah, it just makes a lot of sense because this straightaway is very, very short. As you can probably tell, I'm getting ready to come up to the end of it right now. Yeah. This bridge right over here is what brings people to the infield over there. And that building way back over there with the red roof over there is race control on the second floor there. And as you can see up there, Cooper Tire branding. Cooper Tires did do a lot of work branding this place up a few years ago. And Acura on the backside of the start-finish line right over there. But of course, Michelin are the tires of the IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship, so they are putting up some branding over here. As well they should. And this is where the pit road speed limit ends, right here. And over here is where the drivers will line up to turn for the first corner. Now, drivers exiting the pits have to stay within this little lane right over here to the left. But we do have a bit of an apex curb right here that's red and white that we will come up to very quickly. Over here on the right, we see a sand trap at the first corner. I believe Jack Hawksworth hit that sand trap in 2016 when he ran here for AJ Foyt's team. Or it might have been 2017. I think it was 2016. Someone on Twitter will correct me on that, of course. Or on YouTube, rather, because that's where this is going. So, here we have the exit curb. I want to get down here so you can see just how big it is. It's got a little bit of a rise to it. Very gradual right there. Going up. So that's the curb right there. Some tire streaks on there. I'll take another shot going down from the ground, looking back. But yeah, we see the sound trap over here to our right. And I'm going to skip part of the walk up, but if you look just right here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. You just see the elevation that these drivers are going to have to deal with going up all the way to the keyhole down there for turn 2. Yeah, it's a pretty decent fair amount of elevation there. I'm going to skip probably through that and pick it up again at the keyhole. I'm going to zoom out again, y'all. Alright, so we're going to go back down here to the curb at the ground level here, just to see how much height that curb has. So that's the apex curb right there in turn 1. And we're going to head over here to the exit curb of turn 1. Notice this little bucket over here. This was probably painted pretty recently, or it will be painted. So you got the little bucket right there. Yeah, I'm betting this is going to probably get touched up a little bit. Just make sure everybody can see it. Now, there are some ridges right here that we're walking on. I'm going to get down a little bit so you can just see them a little bit closer. And more Acura signage over there. Anyway, so we're going to walk along here. Halfway through, I'm going to... I'll tell you what, let's just keep going here. This isn't really that long of a straightaway. I think probably on the back stretch is when I'll shut the camera off. So, IMSA came back to Mid-Ohio for the first time last year after the being away for a little bit. They Grand Am used to race here, so did the American Le Mans Series before the big merger happened for 2014. IndyCar has raced here off and on since 1982. This is a traditional stop for IndyCar racing in late July. And if I get here at the right time, I will be doing another track walk, focusing also on the branding as well. So, those of you with iRacing will know that this right here is a course shortcut right here to eliminate the keyhole and all that down there, offering one of, I think, 5 layouts that Mid-Ohio offers. And that right over there, I'm going to zoom in, is the start line, the starter stand right there. Right there. Alright. So we're going to zoom back out again, and we're going to keep going. Alright, so this is another interesting part of the track right here, so it's actually a good idea that I didn't cut this off right here. Alright, that's interesting. Got the truck pulling up right behind those people. I think you might know them. Anyway, so this right here is actually an interesting part of the track right over here, because if you look over here, we have a little bit of a course big right-hander coming up through here, which makes kind of like a weird shaped oval if you look at it from above, like on the satellite view of the track. That's another track layout you can select on iRacing as well. It's doing like a odd shaped oval right there. And you can also do an odd shaped oval with the older chicane. So if you look over here to the right, off of the main track layout, until I think 1990 was the year that it changed. So yeah, it was through the 89 IndyCar race at Mid-Ohio. They would actually race here with this little chicane here before the keyhole. So it goes straight all the way to this point, and then right where those two gentlemen are standing, right up there, it would go off to the right, then the left, and then a left, and then go to the long right-hander, the keyhole, and that's where the track was. That's just how the track was laid out until, like I said, I think it was 1990. Might have been early 1990 it was put in, but I know it was changed in 1990. 1990 was an interesting year in IndyCar racing. You had the track layout here changed. You had the track layout at Cleveland changed after one of the practice sessions had a lot of cars spinning in the first chicane. Really interesting in that regard. But I digress. So, like I said, there's a curb right here, but this is a part of the track that the series will not use. Maybe some like Skip Barber series or whatever uses that. I don't know. That's actually a really good question. Put that one down in the memory bank for later. But we're looking at, got some grandstands over there. But if you notice, I'm going to turn around here. It's a decently steep incline that we're going up here. So, once we get through the keyhole, I'm going to turn the camera off until we get closer to the starter stand. But you see, we got the 300, 200, and the 100 braking boards over there to the left. And we're going to go through the keyhole before we turn the camera off for a little bit. So this is a Thursday at Mid-Ohio that this is being recorded. It was raining a little bit earlier today, but it's amazing. There's a lot of clouds out in the distance, but right around the track it's clear as day. But that may change overnight. You never know. Alright, so we're still climbing up this hill. There is a lot of elevation here in the first part of the lap. I'm going to turn around one more time here just to give you all a perspective on this. I'm going to go ahead and turn back around. I won't turn around again on this little straightaway. Alright, so as you can see right here, this is the exit of the little chicane right up here, coming up on it. And we're going to come up to the keyhole, which is a prime opportunity for overtaking. For the lead or overtaking cars in a different class here in the IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship. This is a 4-class event, and it is the first quote-unquote normal race of the season at 2 hours and 40 minutes. That is the standard length for an IMSA race. I mean, let's face it, earlier this year you had the 24 hours of Daytona, a Sebring 12 hours, and a short 100-minute sprint at Long Beach with only 2 classes. So, here's the curbing at the keyhole. Just slanted, We're going to get right down on it here. Not really that much to it, really. But there's a decent amount of elevation. Coming up to the rise in the middle. Don't want to get on the throttle too quickly in the keyhole, otherwise you could spin the rear wheels. Tires over there. Camera position up there, looking right at the straightaway. But here's where it gets fun. Right now we are going downhill. And if you get a good run through here, you will set yourself up for the long backstretch over there. Everybody else is walking. We're going to get to the edge of the yellow curb right there. We're going to shut the video off until we get to the starter stand. Now this is interesting. It's like a portion of the track that got resealed or resurfaced recently. That's another good question. When's the last time that the track was paved? Someone in the comments, find that out for me, if there are any comments. Thanks for the comment on the Indy 500 testing video, by the way. Yeah, just a lot of pitting and other surface changes right here in the middle of the apex. Maybe a lot of cars have been bottoming out right here through the years. As you can see, over here we've got some branding. There's Acura. We just passed that up, and another Acura right there, and yeah, some water going across the track, but let's face it, that has all night to dry up. Although, if the weather forecast is what some people predict, it could rain again tomorrow. Here we have the exit curbing again. And we're going to turn around again. See, look at the elevation change right here. It's going down through right here. It's a decent amount of elevation change. So we're going to come right out here to the exit curb. It's very similar to what we had earlier. Look right here, we got the ridges. Going to get down a little bit closer. Yep. And sand trap over here to the left. Just on the exit curb currently. And yeah, that's the very first portion of this lap here at Mid-Ohio. Yeah, just looking at the way up there, not down here, it's a decent amount of change here. And of course it goes slightly up and then back down again down there. So we're going to turn the camera off now. We're going to turn it back on at that that starting line right over there. Alright everyone, we're going to continue the track walk. And one thing I noticed over here to the right were these tires. It's good that they had these tires here. It's in case a car has a bit of an issue right over here with another car, goes off track, it can stop over here in these tires. Or if a car has a massive suspension failure over here, it can head off into these tires instead of going down there towards the first turn. Wishful thinking, of course. Anyway, so we're heading along here, and well, it smells nice. I guess someone's got a little fire going over there. So we're heading along here to where the starting line of the race is. Mid-Ohio, like I said, traditionally starts the bigger races over here. IndyCar started here since forever. IMSA started here last year like this. I think Grand Am and ALMS also do the same, because this front stretch over there is just way, way, way too short. The shortcut I showed y'all earlier, this is where it leads out to right here, cutting off a decent amount of the lap. But over here to the left, as I showed earlier, is the starter stand. This is where the green flag will be waved. Now this is only for the initial start of the race now. This will not be where all of the restarts take place. The restarts will all be over by the start-finish line over there. Or the official timing line, I guess you could say. And if my voice sounds a little bit weird, I am on the back end of recovering from a, I don't know if you want to call it just a runny nose or sinus infection or whatever, but that's what's going on. So, coming up here along the timing line, the starting line, and up here is where we're going to see the first turn of the race. And we're going to keep the camera rolling here through this next little bit here, because it's actually a pretty exciting portion of the track. Alright, so I'll tell you what we should do is we're going to just stop it right after the start-finish line and just let it go in here, because this is going to be a really long video based on the action of the track there near the end. So here's the ladder to get up there. It's like a little tree house, almost like. Here's the actual starting line right here. And well, you know what that is. But alright, there's another Acura sign way off in the distance. Let's zoom towards that. Acura trying to get all the branding they can here at Mid-Ohio SportsCar Course. This might be a good thumbnail shot right here, just to shot of the start finish of the starting line with the treehouse there on the right. And as you can see, there's just woods back there off in the distance. So yeah, that's where the cars are going to start the race from, right there, heading down to turn 1. We're going to pause the camera here for a little bit now. All right, y'all, we're going to pick it up here right before the 500 board over here on the left. And I don't know about y'all, but I can barely make out that corner right there at turn 3. Like, if you look really closely, you can barely see it, but, you know, like a few dozen steps back, I could not see that corner. So the elevation here certainly is big. The changes certainly show the skill of these drivers and how brave they are, knowing full well there is a corner there, but the first time you drive this track, it's almost like, wow, I can barely see that corner, but I know I can brake at a certain point and I will make the corner. So over here we have a grandstand to the left. We have some photo holes here, noted by the yellow surroundings around it. And this is another prime overtaking opportunity here. And then you see the descent over into Madness, I believe they call it. I don't know all the corner names here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. I know there's Thunder Valley on the backside, and there's also the Carousel is the final corner. But so this is where we have a massive trouble spot, especially if you go off. So we've got a right-hander coming up right here, and we're going to look at all aspects of the next few corners, because this is a really interesting portion of the lap. And when I first drove a Mustang here in iRacing in the old Grand Am series, I can tell you right now that was a really troubling area for me, because it was my first time in a multi-class race on iRacing, and it was just so bad. I was terrible back then. Not too good right now anyway on road courses anyway, but still, I haven't raced in a while, so it is what it is. Okay, so we've got the right-hander right here, and I just felt a raindrop. Oh no, this is not going to be good. So as you can see way over there, we've got some more of the course. We're going to keep going over here, but we're going to look at the runoff over here to the left. We got some flowers, but you can see when we get to the top over here that this goes down quite a ways. Alright, so here we are, and there's the runoff way over there in the distance. You go off over there and you're sunk. We got the curb over here to the right, looking just like the apex curb at the keyhole. Asphalt slightly different color on the right side than to the left, but there's also some rubber laid down by some cars that have run here. Maybe not today, but maybe in the last few days. But it looks like the gravel trap was done up recently, and someone went off into it over there, it looks like. So, yep, drivers are pushing here. Anyway, so we're going to be heading up through this area. I think this is called Madness. And if you see here, it's uphill and then it goes back down. So just for elevation's sake, we got a slight downhill through there. Alright, so got a little scoring pylon right up there. I don't really seeing too much Acura branding. That's one thing we're going to still pay attention to is the Acura branding around here, because if you look at all the tracks, you know, especially at Long Beach, there was a ton of Acura signage. And here's the apex curb right over here from Madness. And yeah, same as all the others. No really massive changes right there.
We're actually going to do it a little bit earlier.
And yeah, this is a pretty steep uphill right here. Riding in style. So, right now we are going downhill at a pretty quick clip, actually. There's the exit curb over there, same as the others. We don't need to go down to see it. But this is pretty significant. We are still going downhill at a pretty quick clip. Yeah.
That you can make sure that you have.
So we're gonna turn around here. Look at that elevation. There's a ton of elevation right there to go down. All right, so we have this right-hander right here. I think following the right-hander way over there after that left is what leads us into Thunder Valley, I think, if my memory serves me right. And if it doesn't, well, I've been up a lot, so it is what it is. We'll just blame sleep deprivation on that one. Okay, so looking at the tarmac here, small little pitting right there, and some patchworks right there, and some Acura signage right there. We're looking for some Acura signage. After all, as I said, this is the Acura Sports Car Challenge, and we are here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course on the Thursday. I did feel some sprinkles. I still feel like some very, very small droplets, but the sun is coming out. Yeah, good luck explaining that one, folks. Another, that's the bridge right there. And the tent, a little building over there marked food. Do you wonder what they can have in there? Food. So this is interesting. The apex curb over here is actually yellow and not red and white like we've seen it normally. And we're going to turn around just for the sake of elevation, just looking at the elevation changes. Yeah, pretty steep. So it has rained here in Mid-Ohio before. I believe IMSA rained here. Oh, there was one year where it rained really bad. I want to say it was like maybe 2011, I want to say. I know Falcon Tire won that race because I think they also won at Baltimore. So it might have been 2011 or it might have been 2012. I want to say 2011. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong on that. In IndyCar, the biggest rain race I can recall here was, I think, 1990. Yeah, 1990, I know it rained. And Michael Andretti had a pretty sizable off in that race. Right near the keyhole. So, and we're coming up through here. Decent amount of elevation to come up. And the sun is shining brightly here. And yeah, we've climbed up a decent amount here. Alright. Alright, now we're coming up on a right-hander with standard red and white apex curb, sand trap over on the left. There's a tarmac right there. And I know this is going to be a long video. I don't expect everybody to watch all of it, but this will give you a good perspective on the track, elevation. Some Acura drivers here from Meyer-Shank Racing.
I'm on the inside of that sealer patch, but I'm also on the outside of this center line. And I just try to get.
So, got some gravel over here to the left. Exit curb right here in yellow. And we're not going to talk to drivers right now unless it's people I'm pretty sure we'll be friendly with. Because, you know, they're busy, they're talking.
I mean, I'm just saying, but are there other, what if you just bagged this?
Alright, so here we go. As you can see, we have a bit of a different discoloration in the track right here. Heading through this right-hander. I know we haven't stopped the recording in a while, but let's face it, this track is almost all curves in the last half of the lap, so you know it's interesting. So here we're going uphill now. And once we get up here, I'll turn the camera around to show the perspective again. But we come through here, and yeah, fair amount of elevation change. And yeah, the good news is that we got 1, 2, 3, 4 corners left, and we're done with the lap. Yeah, I think this is what we're coming into Thunder Valley. Alright, so we got another exit curb right here that's yellow. We're just gonna keep on rolling here. Total Quartz has got some signage right there. Didn't see any signage on the backside over there. Then again, maybe not all the TV cameras will catch all that. Alright, it's interesting. Steps Towing and Heavy Transport with the Florida logo on. I'm guessing they're based around the Tampa, St. Pete area. Interesting to pick Mid-Ohio to advertise that. Hey, go for it. Want to advertise at a racetrack? I'm all for it. More dollars spent in racing is a good thing. Always helps out the sport. So companies advertise away. Alright, so coming up on this bridge right here. And as you can see, that's what the elevation looks like from that last corner. And way over there is the media center, with the Cooper Tires branding on it way over there. So we're getting close to finishing up the lap here. We got this right-hander, a left-hander, the carousel, and then the final kink, and then we're at the start-finish straight. So we don't have that long to go, folks. If you've actually stayed and watched this entire video so far, give yourselves a pat on the back. Although, let's face it, if you do what some people do and have it on as background noise, I don't blame you. Alright, so coming through the right-hander right here. And the road's actually sloped quite a bit from the left to the right along here. It's decently banked. Like, it's kind of difficult to hold the camera steady. So, yeah. The fact that it's banked does help a bit with the turning. But we're coming up on the 300, then the 200, then the 100 braking point markers. And yeah. This is coming up on the end of the lap. I think this is where, I forget who was involved, but there was an Xfinity race for NASCAR a few years ago that ended up in a controversy around here where second place bumped first place out of the way and won the race, and it was a big to-do. And yeah, I wasn't watching on TV at the time. Saw it later on YouTube, but it is what it is. All right, so we've got the 100 yard or meter feet, whatever, board right there, which means that we have a corner coming up. Ooh, we've got I don't know if that's paint or what. I think she actually is painting. That looks like paint. I think we're getting some curb painting right here. By the way, we got another gravel trap here on the right, or sand trap, or whatever you like to say it is. All right, so we actually have some good action here, y'all. So we're going to do a before shot here and actually see what it looks like afterwards. Wow, y'all. So we just saw some actual painting. I thought that was a lady back there, so I don't know, I think the looked like a small ponytail, but then again the sunlight gives you a very different views there. Then again, y'all, I am sleep deprived. I didn't sleep between my other job and coming here, so yeah. I thought that the person doing that had a ponytail. I was like, oh, nice. All right, so here we are. So here we come into the carousel. Yellow curb on the right there. And we're coming up on the end of the lap right here. So if you notice right over here on the right, it looks like we got a bit of a darker patch of track here. We've had, I'm guessing, quite a few cars that have run along here very recently, because this part of the track looks pretty rubbered compared to this section over here. So let's see, I'm just walking on in between, and I can tell you right now, I can definitely feel it with my shoes that this right side of the track has a lot more grip than the left side. Got a Lexus branding over there for the looks like a hospitality suite over there. Lexus being the Toyota luxury performance brand. To me, Acura seems more like a performance brand instead of a performance luxury brand, but currently drive a Toyota right now and I love it. So if the money came along down the line, Lexus would not be a bad option. Anyway, coming up here on some curbing, and the red portion was freshly painted, and look over there, you'll see the front straightaway. So all those curbs that you saw that were not painted, they will be painted soon enough. Over here to the left is the pit entrance. The pit speed cones are over there. We're going to get a small shot of them. You can see them through there. I really can't tell if we can get them in frame. It looks like it looks like Catherine Legg and Christina Nielsen right there. They drive for, I think it's, the team name is technically Meyer-Shank Racing. The number 57 Caterpillar Acura NSX GT3. I think I got a little bit of water right here going across the track, but it did rain here a little bit earlier. So we're coming up to the end of our track walk here. Now, I'm not going to pester Christina or Catherine for an interview. But, there's no harm mentioning, good luck if we come across them. Here they go over the wall. And we're going to at least walk to the start-finish line just to complete a lap here. But yeah, as you can tell, small amount of elevation change through there. As we come up through the pits, we see Paul Miller Racing as the first pit. They race a Lamborghini in GT Daytona. A few others here and there. I'm not going to go through all the teams. We don't have to go through every single one, but there's some that we know, like PAF Motorsports, or FAF, or however you would pronounce it. That's the Porsche. I think it's on all Canadian lineup. I think it's Zachary Robichon and Scott Hargrove in that car. Scuderia Corsa with the WeatherTech entry. I think it's Tony Violander and Cooper McNeil in that car. The Turner Motorsport BMW. And it looks like after that is the 10 Wayne Taylor Racing pit cart right there. May not have set their stuff up yet, though. Probably haven't. Anyway, so there's Mazda Team Yost right there, right in front of Park Place. BMW Team RLL. But here we are, back at the front straightaway. Another sand trap over there to the right. The race control building I mentioned earlier. And there's Acura. And here we are, completing a lap of the Mid-Ohio Sports Car course. I'm Christopher DeHardy, writer for motorsportstribune.com, covering IndyCar and IMSA, and I just completed a lap here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car course. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the rest of the weekend and the rest of the 2019 motorsports calendar year. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter at CDeHardy, CDEHARDE, and enjoy.